Do not adjust your monitors. This is the iPhoneography Podcast Empire Network YouTube channel, whatever Greg is calling it these days. Now, the reason I'm here is because your friend of mine, the host of the iPhoneography Podcast, Greg McMillan, captured a banging image, a stunning image. It was so good that I had to share it to my story on Instagram, which I'm known to do when I see a particularly special photo. However, this one was so special that I implored Greg to release a behind the scenes, to talk mere mortals like myself through how he captured the photo. So maybe we can go out and do it ourselves, right? But he was like, no, I'm not sharing my secrets. No, you don't deserve to know. No, he didn't say that. He's just a humble guy. He's quite shy, and he didn't want to do it. So me being the nice guy that I am, I put a little caption on the story. Go and pressure Greg. Go and harass him into going into the behind the scenes. And one person did it on Instagram, quite politely, I might add, an English person. So shout out. And so what I've done is I've hijacked the iPhoneography Podcast YouTube channel, and I've dragged Greggy kicking and screaming onto this video to go into the behind the scenes under the, I don't know, I will only give him his channel back once he takes us through the behind the scenes. So he's here now to take us through it. All right, Greg.
Hello, David. This is me kicking and screaming.
Hello. So how do you feel being here? Is this a weird experience for you?
No, this is just two blokes talking about mobile photography, and it's right in our wheelhouse, I think.
It is, but you know what? We've never done this before, because you take some quite good images, if I do say so. So good that you've actually got a book coming out soon about macro photography. I don't think that's a secret anymore.
No.
And, you know, I'm sure you'll go into the behind the scenes of your macro stuff in that book. Obviously, that's what the book's about. But you also capture some other great photos, and you've got a YouTube channel just sat there doing, you know, not much. And you upload quite regularly to this. Sorry, I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, you don't upload to it. That's why.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have this iPhoneography podcast YouTube channel, of which I'm very grateful to have been a part of. So, you know, let's take the fine viewers through this thing, shall we?
All right. So it's a shot of a hydro pole at night. That's how I like to promote it, or that's what I've called the post. But of course, the secret is the Milky Way in behind with the galactic core, and this came about on Friday night. I was able to leave work early, and by early, I mean an hour after my shift started. So when I left, I saw the skies were perfectly clear, and I thought, oh, this is a great opportunity to get a shot of the Milky Way. And I dug out all the knowledge and information I had in my head from Shane Mostyn's YouTube channel and his community on Facebook. And
Who is this guy? Who is this Shane Mostyn?
Shane Mostyn. He is an Australian bloke who just happened to specialize in this kind of photography. He's the one with the funny accent, David.
Oh, the goofy guy.
Yeah.
The dumb Aussie guy. Oh, the dumb Aussie.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say that, but...
You were thinking it, though. We're all thinking it. Let's just be, you know...
Yeah. No, he's an actual terrific guy. But so...
He is.
He uses photo pills to, plan out his shots. And I've been thinking about getting that app, but I haven't got it. But I did use one called, I have to look it up now, and I think it's called Skyview. So it gives you the augmented reality view of the sky, and I could see where the galactic core is going to be, and then I can adjust the time of day. So I adjusted it for around 11 p.m., I think, that night, and I could see where it was going to be in the sky and how high the core would be. So I sat around till about 11 o'clock, and then I went outside of the small city I live in, because there's too much light pollution right here. But a mere 10-minute drive, and I got down to, I think it was a Bortle class 4, which is still fairly bright, but the direction of the core, when I'm looking in that direction on this back road I stopped on, it was very, very nice and dark. And I could actually see the Milky Way with my eyes. But
Wow.
once I captured it, it actually showed way better. So, there was light pollution behind me from the city I live in. I could see a massive amount of light pollution on the horizon to the southeast, and that was Toronto. It was
Right.
like really glowing that night for some reason. But it was just off to the side. You can actually see a little hint of it in the lower left of this image that we're going to be talking about. And so I just went out there at about 11 o'clock at night, 11:30, whatever, and I put my iPhone 14 Pro Max on my tripod. The tripod I have it's a brand called Opus. I don't know how popular that is, but it's a good little tripod. It's sturdy. It does the job. And I have a ProMaster phone mount for the tripod. So it has a spring on it. You put the phone in and it springs down, and it holds it nice and steady. And so that's basically the setup. And then as far as capturing the image, it's just simply a night mode shot in the Apple camera with RAW in Pro RAW for 30 seconds. And that's how I shot it.
So it's in a stock camera app.
Yep.
It's 30 seconds, which you have to go onto a tripod to achieve.
Yes.
30 seconds,
Yeah.
right? In Pro RAW, and that's it.
As far as shooting the image, yeah, that's it.
Wow.
It's basically a point and shoot.
First of all, nice flex with your fancy new iPhone 14. How much do you think? So you have the Pro Max,
Yeah.
you just said. How much of do you think the Pro Max, the 14 Pro Max, contributed to the quality of the photo, or is it achievable with a 13 Pro Max, 12 Pro?
Yeah,
whatever?
you can do it. I've done it with the 12 Pro Max. I've never had the 13 Pro Max, but with the 14 Pro Max, it actually picked up a lot more stars than my 12 did. It just has better light gathering capabilities because of the sensor.
Mm-hmm.
It has the 48 megapixel sensor, but it uses the pixel binning for a 12 megapixel
Yes.
image, but it really does gather light so much better.
Yeah, I wondered about this. Did you see my video? And it's okay to say if you didn't.
Yeah.
I won't be offended.
Oh yeah, I did.
Wondering about this thing. Okay, so it's true. You do get better low light performance.
Yeah, and I think when Apple touted the 2 times better light or better low light performance, or 3 times depending on which camera they were talking about, I honestly think they were talking about the fact that you can achieve higher ISO on the 14 Pro than you could with even the 13 Pro. And in some cameras, it's a significant difference in ISO. Like I'm talking going from like ISO, I forget the numbers offhand, but something like ISO 9000 to ISO 13,000. So that's a pretty big jump, which would really help with the low light capturing. I haven't really been able, I didn't have my 12 Pro Max for any more than a few days after I got this, and then I sold it. I wish I had done more comparisons, but no such luck there.
Well, now you're a serious YouTuber. Maybe maybe next time we'll get that comparison that we're all wanting. Because I won't be getting the 14 Pro Max this year. Maybe you've noticed or not, I'm in a new location. This is my new house. I've spent my money this year on a building rather than a device.
Yeah, it looks good.
That's not okay with a lot of my subscribers and commenters, but hey, I'd rather have a roof over my head than a phone.
Yeah,
to be honest
exactly.
with you.
And it looks like you have a lot more room too.
Oh, I do. This is so much better for recording and things. And I'm actually inspired to record now. I'm clamoring to get back into regular uploads and things now that I'm settled in and stuff like that. But this isn't about me. This is about you. So you have. Did you say you have photo pills now?
No,
You
I
use
was thinking about using it, but I use this other one, Skyview, it's called.
Skyview.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just shows you where
so
all the stars and constellations and planets and stuff are.
and it was pretty spot on. It worked well, did
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
And does it show you where the moon is and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, it shows you where all that stuff is. There's a few different apps like that in the App Store, but I'm still thinking about getting photo pills just because all I see with this app is, the cam. You open up the app and it almost looks like the camera's just looking where all the stars and stuff are. I don't know if you can actually see the actual background to what's behind it or whatever, but it's got so much information, almost too much, really. If all you want to do is find out where the Milky Way is, maybe photo pills might be the better option. I have to look.
I'm not sure. I used to have photo pills, but I remember it being very complicated and just being way beyond anything that I would ever use it for.
Okay, I'll have to look into it.
What about the editing? Is this picture straight out the camera, or did you tweak it?
No, straight out of the camera. It looks very low contrast. It looks very plain. But this one here, so I've tried editing in different apps, this kind of picture, but Lightroom Mobile just seems to do the best job. And that's highly credited to the dehaze and clarity sliders. And they just really bring out that galactic core. And then, of course, you saturate it a bit and adjust your blacks, and you can even play with the white balance and tint it a little bit just to get it, to suit your taste a little better. But that's what I found to be the best app for doing this kind of image.
So you said this photo was a 30-second capture in the iPhone's stock camera app. Would you have you got the astrophotography bug now? Would you jump over to a re-expose or an even longer and go for even longer, like 2 or 3 hours and get those star trails?
I have done that. Rather than go way out somewhere, because I was going to do like a 4-hour exposure with even longer. I just set my phone on the tripod on my deck out behind the house. And oddly enough, there's a hydro pole there. So I thought that makes another good foreground. And this was actually long before I did this astro shot. But I put it on for 4 hours and went out and brought the phone back in, had a look at it, and it had really cool, nice star trails. And this is with the 12 Pro Max. Nice star trails throughout the image. And I was amazed at how many different colors these stars actually appear. There's different colors in them in the image. So basically it was an edit where I don't even think I had to use Lightroom Mobile for this one, because I wasn't trying to get the details out of the galactic core. I was just getting, darkening the sky down, getting better contrast, just trying to improve the image from what it actually shot at, but it didn't shoot too badly. So even longer is just phenomenal at a shot like that. I do plan to try and re-expose just to see how it works and to see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, if you do, dude, then maybe you can come and take us through how you do it. So how has this been for you? Do you think now you have a bit more confidence to just hit record and take the fine people through your process? Maybe you could screen record on your iPhone too in Lightroom Mobile and record the editing process maybe?
I think I might be able to do that. I've watched you, I've watched Shane, I've watched a few others who do tutorials, like more so with just photography and like landscape and stuff. I think the biggest thing for me is I've got to get over the fact that I'm just talking to the little camera on a phone. And For me, it's always been harder to do that. It's a lot easier talking to someone, but I think if I just put it in my head that I'm talking to someone, then I think I'll be all right. I'm gonna give it a good hard try.
Good, cool. Well, I don't mind helping you out if you want me to. Maybe I can
Yeah.
print a. Maybe you can print a picture of me. Put it.
Yeah, stick it on the phone.
Well, right now you're over here, and I'm looking directly into my camera lens, so I can see you in my peripheral vision. Like, so this is what. There you
Yeah.
are, and there's woo. Look at that! Wow,
Ooh.
some Matrix stuff going on right there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get used to it. It's weird. I find blinking is maybe. I'm always surprised when I watch these back and I edit them together how much I actually blink like a million times because the
Yeah.
light
Yeah. I
is
find
right
that with
here,
myself too.
and I'm just I'm trying
But
to.
now I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your video on the screen, and about 3 inches above that is the camera. But does it look like I'm looking at you, or does it look like I'm looking down a bit?
Let me look at you now. It looks like no. That passes as looking at me.
Okay, good.
To be fair,
That's what
yeah.
makes it so much easier. If I look straight at the camera,
Yeah, and actually, yeah. Now that's weird. It's like you're looking into my soul now. I don't like
yeah.
it. Okay,
But yeah,
so
I think I've got enough confidence that I can at least give it a good hearty try, and I'll just see how it turns out after all the editing and everything is done, and I'm going to approach it where I have no expectations, and I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. No timeline. I just want to enjoy the process and see what happens, and hopefully it comes out well and it's well accepted. I'm again, no expectations for views or anything, but if it comes out well, then I'll maybe try another one after that.
I have no expectations of you either, so don't. Just teasing.
Well, that's good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, but dude, don't worry, mate. Go back and watch Shane Austin's first videos. They suck ass. No, no. Go back and watch my videos from like April 2020. Oh my god, I'm like Shane used to call me Mr. Robot. I
That's
was
how I
terrible.
discovered you, though. I found the way I found you was your first halide video.
Yes, and that one, I'm reading off a teleprompter in that video for the first and only time I ever used one.
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
actually
I
made
mean,
it.
I really enjoyed it. I liked your style of how you put things across, and I subscribed. So whatever you did worked for me anyway.
Thank you very much. And now you cannot unsubscribe, or I will find you.
Yes, you know where I am.
I do. You are in